this again. Little different this time. I told myself that money would never be a factor. Now I'm laughing at Benihana's with benefactors. Sell my soul for an artist loft with them giant raptors. My chef cooking that steak and lobster on giant platters. Forsaking all again for this fathom after. Path to disaster, enslaved by the master. I'm hearing they laughter, Drunk off my own grapes, yes I'm blasted. Pockets is fatter. Without peace, what does it matter? Manifesting this madness. My career's center stage, you just a sideshow. Carrying the shame everywhere that I go. Ain't no way this can continue, I know. But do I want that mercy or that mercy lie go? I'm flawed. But how long can I live life like this? When I know your grace so aching, that I wrestle serving one of you as God. Yes, it's I, yes, it's I. I ain't innocent, the sinister. The sin within had it sent it into my signature. Don't be offended, I meant it that I'm a minister. But this simulated, now I'm sitting similar. This ain't no cinema, I'm finished as a swindler. Say sweeping up these chains like I never been a prisoner. Exchange these chains for angels in my perimeter. Never be the same, I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven, bruh. I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven, bruh. Flawed, but I'm forgiven, bro. I'm forgiven.
Street Light Sounds.
Alright, let's do this again. Little different this time. I told myself that money would never be a factor. Now I'm laughing at Benihana's with benefactors. Sell my soul for an artist loft with them giant raptors. My chef cooking that steak and lobster on giant platters. Forsaking all again for this fathom after. Path to disaster, enslaved by the master. I'm hearing they laughter, Drunk off my own grapes, yes I'm blasted. Pockets is fatter. Without peace, what does it matter? Manifesting this madness. My career's center stage, you just a sideshow. Carrying the shame everywhere that I go. Ain't no way this can continue, I know. But do I want that mercy or that mercy lie go? I'm flawed. But how long can I live life like this? When I know your grace so aching, that I wrestle serving one of you as God. Yes, it's I, yes, it's I. I ain't innocent, the sinister. The sin within had it sent it into my signature. Don't be offended, I meant it that I'm a minister. But this simulated, now I'm sitting similar. This ain't no cinema, I'm finished as a swindler. Say sweeping up these chains like I never been a prisoner. Exchange these chains for angels in my perimeter. Never be the same, I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven, bruh. I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven, bruh. Flawed, but I'm forgiven, bro. I'm forgiven.
Street Light Sounds.
Alright, let's do this again. Little different this time. I told myself that money would never be a factor. Now I'm laughing at Benihana's with benefactors. Sell my soul for an artist loft with them giant raptors. My chef cooking that steak and lobster on giant platters. Forsaking all again for this fathom after. Path to disaster, enslaved by the master. I'm hearing they laughter, Drunk off my own grapes, yes I'm blasted. Pockets is fatter. Without peace, what does it matter? Manifesting this madness. My career's center stage, you just a sideshow. Carrying the shame everywhere that I go. Ain't no way this can continue, I know. But do I want that mercy or that mercy lie go? I'm flawed. But how long can I live life like this? When I know your grace so aching, that I wrestle serving one of you as God. Yes, it's I, yes, it's I. I ain't innocent, the sinister. The sin within had it sent it into my signature. Don't be offended, I meant it that I'm a minister. But this simulated, now I'm sitting similar. This ain't no cinema, I'm finished brandished as a swindler. Say sweeping up these chains like I never been a prisoner. Exchange these chains for angels in my perimeter. Never be the same, I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven, bruh. I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven, bruh. I'm flawed, but I'm forgiven, bruh. I'm forgiven.
What is up, everybody? How's it going? I hope everybody's doing good out there. I hope you're excited. I am.
I am so excited.
All right.
I'm about to pee. I'm so excited.
All right, you do that on your own.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Yes. Welcome, everybody. I am Donnie.
This is Green Capital. I am Marshall. We have been doing we've been investing for a couple years now. As you see on the screen behind us, this is Tesla. This is one of our favorite stocks, or my favorite stocks. We like to talk about investing. We like to talk about swing trading, day trading. Donnie's actually getting
Options,
some
Forex,
Yeah.
Anything related to capital. You know, we're going to be talking about like any business adventures. You know, even if it's like pop culture, entertainment, stuff like that, as it's related to like business and everything, which is real interesting because lately, like pop culture stuff, I don't know if you guys have heard of the NFTs and stuff like that. That's kind of like a way that like you can invest in like pop culture memorabilia and stuff like that. So we'll discuss that. We're not the biggest crypto investors, but we'll be getting into that, and we'll love to discuss crypto with anybody that's even more knowledgeable about it. We're trying to just create like a forum for people to come and discuss anything related to those things. So
Yeah, and just business in general. It's cool to learn about money. Like the reason why we made the name Green Capital is because we want to grow the money. We want to be environmentally friendly. In addition to that, we also don't want to be limited to just stocks. We want to, and neither business either. We want to be limited. We want everything. Like we want to be able
personal
to talk
finance too. That's another thing that I forgot to mention. So, you know, like people want to get into real estate and like just like their personal finances and like, you know, whatever. We'll get into all that stuff.
Yeah, and Donovan and I are going to school for finance as well. We both want to be financial advisors. So maybe someday we can help you guys budget and like, you know, retirement and stuff like that.
All right. So this right now, this is our first stream. We're going live. We'll be doing like some recordings and stuff like that. We'll do like shorter videos and stuff. And so right now, the key is to just make sure you guys subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when we go live. So you don't have to, you know, worry about like missing anything, and all our content will be up there on the channel and everything. So that'll be good.
I'm so ready.
Yep.
So ready.
It's gonna be awesome.
The adventure.
It's gonna be awesome. And make sure when you're in there, don't just be a lurker. Make sure you comment on anything. If you want us to look at, you know, any stocks that you see value in and everything like that, make sure you let us know. Yes, I said that. Subscribe.
Yeah. Our friend, our roommate is telling us to tell people to subscribe.
All right. So what do you got there, Marshall?
So I made a PowerPoint for us.
Yeah.
So we were prepared for our first live stream. So our first point of business is to talk about who we are as individuals.
Yeah, we kind of went over that.
Yeah, we did. So
we'll go to the next thing.
Okay, so then what do we plan to do?
You kind of went over that.
We kind of went over that too. And then that was basically it. So
all right.
I guess if you want to talk about, we can just dive right into it. Talk about what happened this week in the macro environment.
All right, we can do that. Let's see. I guess we don't have any comments here.
No
Nobody
comments.
wants to see anything.
Not yet.
All right. But
We got 3 people watching though.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so yeah. Also too, make sure you you know, let everybody know, let your friends know that what we're doing here, everyone's welcome. Just make sure you're not like being offensive to anybody.
We're being
and
respectful.
anything.
Yeah.
And we're also gonna build a Discord, so like you guys can kind of call us up on the Discord, and if you want to be interviewed like that, and we can discuss things over that. That way, your audio can be on the stream too, and like it'll be kind of like a call-in line, you know, so we can discuss things like that too.
Yeah.
So
I
that's gonna be
guess I guess I'll just add a little bit to who I am. My like backstory is that I've always been like pro environment, and I wanted to be like an animal trainer. And like I realized that I wasn't going to be making any money as an animal trainer, and that I wanted to like speak the language of money, because money is really the like biggest way to like change the way the world works. So not only could I help the environment by like being a philanthropist, but also I could just, you know, live a better life. So
I'm just trying to ball out.
yeah,
I'm playing.
So I basically started getting into stocks. I day traded for about 2 years. Wasn't like super good at it, but I have an addictive personality, so that's, you know. But we'll get more into that like at another video. I'm just summarizing for now. But then I started swing trading, and then I started getting into like investing, because throughout my day trading like adventures and swing trading adventures, I was making so much more money like in the background investing. And Donovan and I actually like got Donovan in the stocks. Donnie. Oh, sorry. Donnie boy in the stocks, and he got into like the day trading thing too, and we were like, investing, it's so boring. Like, you just buy and hold, and that's it. And then we start realizing like you can make bank investing. So
yeah. I guess for me, I mean, I started I was like always kind of intrigued by, you know, stocks and stuff like that. So some years before I met Marshall, because we were pretty much at work one day discussing stuff. We were discussing Tesla, and I was like, what?
That was like my very first stock I ever bought.
Yeah. But before that, I would just always, I'm a news nerd, so you guys will get to know that. Some of you that are on the stock group, you probably see me posting all kinds of stuff, news oriented and stuff like that. So for the most part, before I met Marshall, I was just kind of like news oriented. I was watching, you know, the CNBC a lot, and just like kind of intrigued about like investing and stuff like that. But when I met Marshall, then it was like, let's just get into it.
Donnie, do you want to make some money?
Yeah, so we started getting into it. I started off with Robinhood. I have Fidelity as well, but I started out with that and started doing a lot of research, heavily on YouTube and everything like that, reading books and stuff. And you know, after that, I branched out from using Robinhood, and I started using TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim's platform, and that's what you see right here. So this is
TD Ameritrade is so awesome, because they're like actually like a competent broker or investment firm. I don't like Robinhood all that much, so I've never had a Robinhood. I've always used TD Ameritrade or Fidelity. But yeah.
That's not to say that for beginners, even though there's a lot of gripes with Robinhood and stuff like that, like really for beginners.
Yeah,
I think
very
you
much
should
for
try.
beginners,
You should use Robinhood.
Yeah.
I don't want to because I feel like that's kind of a stepping stone. Especially if you're casual, like start with Robinhood, and then, you know, we can coach you up. You can join our Facebook group. We can coach you up in transitioning into a better broker.
Yeah, but Robinhood is not the place to like hold lots of money.
Yeah, but start out with that, because you'll get used to it after that, and then we can transition you. A lot of people are using Webull right now. I know a lot of people in our group are using that. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with that software, but because I use this.
It's pretty cool.
So nice.
Yeah.
So let's get into topics this week. For the most part, with the market, it's been kind of like hovering around highs.
Pull up the SPY?
Can we?
Yeah,
Let's
we can. Yeah.
So the SPY, which is kind of like an ETF that like,
if you see at the top
covers,
left, you want to put the mouse over where it says the ETF. If you see like up here.
Or in the corner?
No, I got it.
Go ahead.
So if you see the name right here, the SPY, it's an ETF. Okay. It's one of the biggest ETFs. It's an indicator
It tracks
of
the S&P 500.
yeah, and this is one of the indicators that people use. Not an indicator, but it's like this is one of the indexes that encompasses a large portion of the market. We have the SPY, which is the S&P 500.
Then you have the Qs.
Yeah,
the
which is-
SQQs and the TQQs.
Yeah.
We'll get into that stuff.
But that
yeah.
correlates with the SPY. Mm-hmm. And then you have the NASDAQ,
Yeah.
and then the Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Yep.
And if you watch Hit That Bid, he talks about how the Dow Jones isn't really like a super good indicator of how the market is going because it just encompasses like so many companies, and it's just weird. So
And this itself actually works like a stock as well too, so you can invest in the SPY.
Yes.
A lot of people would do options on the SPY
Yeah.
when they think about like where the market's going and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you look at this is
yeah, it's so cool. Like the SPY
Yeah.
is like basically the entire U.S. economy, like infrastructure and like all that stuff. It's like a mutual fund, but like on a massive scale.
Yeah. So if you look at this, right, this is a whole year's trajectory here. I feel like I want to do 2 years.
Well,
I don't know
actually,
why.
no. The SPY isn't really a mutual. It is a mutual fund, but not on a massive
just do
scale,
the
because
3 years, because I want to show the where
Oh
we've
yeah.
been.
Yeah.
All right. So as we can
But
see.
wait, I want to finish the.
Okay, go
I wanna
ahead, go ahead.
So, yeah, the SPY is basically a mutual fund, which a mutual fund is just an encompassment, a grouping of a lot of stocks or companies, and it averages out like your gains and losses. So, mutual funds or indexes can be like really safe. Because sometimes stocks go from like they just can drop really dramatically if like bad news happens. So versus if like a bunch of stocks are in the same group, then you're a lot less inclined to be affected by one stock going down like a significant amount. So you can invest in these companies, and the S&P 500 is the top 500 companies of the United States. So yeah.
All right. So like say like what we're saying, this represents the entire market per se. So last year we know what happened. Coronavirus hit, and we had this big drop off right here, right? Everybody was panicking, panic selling. We're gonna go into a depression. It sucks. It's the end of the world, right? Even myself, at the time back in the day, everybody was talking about we're gonna have a V-shaped recovery, and then
I didn't believe it.
I didn't believe it either. I was trying to bet against the market here. A lot of people made a lot of money because
Yeah.
there's also ETFs that you can invest in that actually bets against the market, and you make money as the market's going down.
And our friend Adam invested in puts for the SPY, which is a way to like invest
Yeah.
against the market, and he made like $60,000 off of $2,000 investment, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
We'll get into that
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, so that happened, right? So moving forward, we got in touch with the Fed, the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve started pumping money and doing all these like loosening up interest rates and stuff like that to get money flowing. And then we started stimulating, people got stimulus checks and everything. And then the market just started to rip higher, right? And then you see this steady increase right here. We had a few wobbles here, and what I'm saying, but pretty much still with this entire trend line. Let's move forward to today, right? This is where we're at. We're hovering around all-time highs, literally, people. Like each candle here on this chart represents one day, and right there we closed at all-time high.
But barely. Like
barely.
we were so close last week.
So in terms of the dynamics of the market right now, it's kind of hard to have like a massive like breakout uptrend because everything is so sensitive to like news and everything. So it's kind of like we're trying to break out to like uncharted territory, and we're like watching fundamentals like a hawk, right? So it's earnings season right now, and I know
which usually
that,
creates a lot of catalysts for the economy and the stock
apparently
market. Yeah.
Tesla reports on Monday, right? So this is Tesla's chart. I don't want to go that far back into Teslas, so we only need to
We can do
go
6
1
months.
year.
Yeah,
Let's go on the year. Yeah. Wait, let's pull back on that a little bit here. Is
No,
anybody-
no.
Oop, crap.
We're still new to this, guys. We'll get it. All right, there you go.
All right, so here we go. That's fine. I guess no one's commenting yet, but
It's
let
all
us know
good.
what you
It's
think.
all good. We
All
got
right,
people
so
watching.
here, Tesla, as we know, went through a stock split, right? Am I right?
Yeah. We
Yeah,
went through it in
before
the
they
stock-
went to the S&P 500, they went through a stock split. So, because they were already at, what were they at before the split?
So if you look at, you see where that pink line is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the
That's where
stock
it split.
split. That's the split right there. So when everyone like expected the split, for some reason people think that like a split means that. So Tesla split 5-1, as you can see. It says 5-1 right there. People think that you'll get like a bunch more shares, which you will, but like it's divided by like however much it was before. So let's say
so your
you have
your account stays the same.
Yes.
All you do is just have more shares
Yeah.
instead of like less shares that's worth more per share.
yeah, so like $25,000 with 5 shares or whatever, you know. 'cause
Yeah,
Tesla's super
it'll
expensive.
just split it into more shares.
You'll just have this. You'll have more shares, but you'll still have $25,000.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Like
But
people.
what it does is it gave access to like a cheaper share price
Yes.
per share
Yeah.
for people that weren't invested in Tesla
Yes.
already. So it kind of created a catalyst
Yeah.
for more people to get into the stock because it brought it down to what was it like?
No, it didn't. Like so the reason why.
200 some
No,
change
it
you could've
didn't
got
bring it.
around.
It didn't bring it. That wasn't.
Well,
the
that's a
reason why-
better word. Not bring it down, but it split it to where the value per one share is cheaper, so people can get into it.
Yeah, but
As opposed to like pulling up the chart and seeing like $1,000.
oh yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
But if you look at that, drop, that's not because like that's not the share price splitting. That is just the fact that like people sold off right after the split,
Yeah.
because there was actual news right there. As there's another catalyst that said that Tesla's not going to be included in the S&P 500 or whatever, which we all know that Tesla was going to be included, but that's just short-term traders like freaking out. So everyone
Yeah.
sold, and then it popped right back up, as you see.
So for the most part, I just wanted to go on the background of that stuff. But so eventually, they got incorporated into the S&P 500 and everything.
Which was
and then,
on 11/02.
Yeah.
It was around that time, and then as you can see, that massive run up from 11 to no. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's from like 500 all the way to 900.
Yeah,
which is
so
like-
we reached the high of 900 here, right? So then after that, there was probably some profit taking going on here, because
we have comments. We have Connor and Magic 40.
What's up, Franco? I
Yeah,
see you out
and
there.
Franco. Bro,
Maggio, what up?
so
I
excited.
see you out there. All right,
Bravo to us.
So yeah, so like I was saying on the Tesla thing, people started to sell off here a little bit, profit taking mainly. All right, so then it went down into like the 500 range.
Oh, yeah.
That was a little too
Yeah.
low.
Yeah.
Mainly the storyline here right now is the 700 line, right? That's what we're battling. Some days it's going up to like 750 and some change, and then other days it's going like right at like 700 or like 710, and then like it's just so right now this is what we call consolidation.
Yeah.
Right here.
So what's
right?
cool about Tesla right now, though, is, and in general for for Tesla right now, is that they split their stock 5-1. So now each dollar is worth $1 billion for Tesla, like in market cap. So the market cap for Tesla now is around 700 billion, which is crazy. That's so nice. That's so nice that you can see that, because when you look at a company, you want to evaluate it based off of like the PE ratio and the sales, the profit to sales ratio. Is that what it is?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the market cap. So if those are like too high compared to like what the company is actually worth, then the stock is overvalued. But if it's like, let's say Tesla was worth like 500 million, which is like stupid low, then you would that would be a big bet that you would want to place on the upside, because it has a lot of potential. So the reason why we're around this area right now, around the $720 billion market cap range, and we've been staying here for a while, number one is because of what Donnie's been saying about how the macro environment is just so yes, we're getting like stimulus checks, and then no, Biden just announced the capital gains tax for like millionaires and above. It's just
and then they're talking about corporate tax rates.
So the macro environment affects the stock. Like the macro environment affects every stock, but in addition to that, people are waiting for a catalyst on Tesla, because it's worth a lot right now. It's worth $720 billion in market cap.
The catalyst that we're looking at right now is going to be Monday. We have earnings, right?
Yes.
So as a trader, support and resistance lines are very important, right? So I've drawn some support and resistance lines right here. So this line right here is probably right around the 7 something line, right?
What is that blue line?
We'll get into that stuff.
Okay.
Because we got to try to move on. All right, and then so right now, if I was trading this, I'm not currently in it, but if I was, I would say that we're trying to see if we can get into break out to the upside towards $800. That's the main goal right now. Based on their earnings, we could see that. I would say that it's probably more inclined to go to the upside because it's been under pressure for so long. I don't see, because with stocks like Tesla, a lot of times they'll run up a lot, and then when earnings hit, people start to profit take. That usually happens a lot. But when they don't run up before earnings, usually earnings can help it push up a little bit. Yeah. So that's something to look at. And then you have a lot of room to run. If you're in Tesla, just hold it. Maybe you wanted to add more to the position during this little consolidation period.
Or consolidation.
Dip and stuff like that, and then you move on from there. So we'll see that going on. Anybody got any stocks they want us to look at? We'll go over some of those. I'll go over GM, one of my favorites. Yes, we're gonna talk about GM. All right. A lot of this is the year right here, right? So if you looked at GM's one of those old automakers. They like to call them the legacy automakers, So they were, Tesla was leaving these guys in the dust, right? With all their electric vehicle stuff and everything.
Well, most legacy automakers.
Yeah, most of them. Everybody, not just
GM.
GM. Everybody was
everybody
left in the dust, right? So, but GM started to consider changing their whole model and going electric, right?
Francesco was excited about GM.
Yeah, by 2035, I believe, right? So when I started getting wind onto it, I think it was probably up around here.
Excuse me, Francisco.
Yeah, I started hearing them discuss some of this stuff or whatever. So long story short, they got a lot of models coming out now for the future of their electric vehicle. You'll see some of the news that we put if you're a part of the Facebook group and stuff like that I've been putting. I'm excited about the EV Hummer. They just talked about on yesterday about the Cadillac Lyriq that's coming out, right? But there is a chip shortage. There's a major chip shortage that affects all the automakers right now, even Tesla too.
So
it's on a macro level thing.
Yeah, we can agree to disagree on that, and if you want, we can talk about that now.
Nah, I don't think
okay,
we'll talk about
but it doesn't affect Tesla as much as it affects the automakers, and I just want to say that because Tesla has they prepared for this a long time ago. They actually make their own. They make their own chips in terms of like the self-driving, and they were actually not affected by the coronavirus as much as the other legacy automakers. They were growing while everyone else was going down. So just to want to say one more thing is that the suppliers cut the supply lines to the people that thought that they were gonna be affected by COVID, right? Or oops, we're not supposed to say COVID. Because I guess YouTube demonetizes people that say COVID. So whatever. We'll say
The virus.
The virus, yeah. The virus. So the legacy automakers were all like, oh, we're going to be affected by the virus, so don't send us as much supplies. Tesla's like, nah, we're not going to be affected because we have such a small market share. We're going to continue to grow. So they were prepared versus the legacy automakers were not. So anyways, go ahead. Yeah.
So like I was saying on this, right, I kind of viewed when GM started talking about all that stuff, I kind of viewed that as new growth for them. It's going to take some time, but as you can see, their trend line, they're still kind of like trading along the trend, right? So with those factors, like I said, with the smart the chips, I guess, it kind of affects them a little bit. So it's kind of holding them back a little bit or whatever. So they reached a high of 63. This is an all-time high for them too. I mean,
they did have an awesome run.
This is a healthy trend right here.
That's a 300% run.
That's a healthy trend right there.
That's a 300%.
And
yeah.
I think that with it, as long as it, because right here, I would say the chip shortage is pricing in right here, right? So once that's priced in, and then we have earnings coming up and all that stuff like that, long as it stays, I don't even really care if it stays consolidated right here and then just kind of has to weather the chip shortage storm and like whatever. But long-term trajectory here on a stock like this is what I'm thinking of, and they have a lot of ground to cover in terms of like overhauling their company. So
you won't technically know how profitable their electric vehicles are though until they come out with earnings and they talk about how profitable they are, because a lot of people doubt what are the profit margins on their electric vehicles, because they're so behind on, which I tend to agree on, like electric vehicles in general in terms of Tesla, so they have to lower their prices to make it a competitive product for Tesla's price. But anyways, yeah.
All
so
right.
we'll see during earnings how that goes.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And you can always see where the earnings are, and you can listen in on the conference call. The blue light is the earnings, and then the conference call is the red phone right above it. So you can actually click the red phone.
If you're using the Thinkorswim software.
Yeah, if you're using the Thinkorswim software, and you can listen in.
I know
which is super cool on what the
Robinhood,
company has to say about what their future plans are and stuff.
Yeah, on the Robinhood users, I know that it's in there. It'll have the conference calls on inside of the app. So if you click on the stock, you can see that stuff and you can listen to it. Because I used to listen to the conference calls from Robinhood as well too. So
yeah, Donnie actually got me into the conference calls. He was the first one that ever listened to them on Robinhood or on Thinkorswim.
Yeah. So this is Twitter right here, one of my favorites. I actually swing traded this, but it's because of this consolidation. I saw this resistance right here. But for the most part, Twitter had a pretty good run here too.
Yeah, they did.
All the way up to $80. And there was some issues with the drop off with they were kind of cleaning house. I'm not going to get into too political.
The political climate was intense.
Yeah, they're always under a microscope, just like any other social media platform and everything like that. So with all the politics involved, you know, they pulled back, right? So when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, I think I'm gonna get into it. So I got in at like around, I think I might be before that.
Zoom out.
Let me zoom out.
There you go.
Yeah, let's see. I think I got in like down here
Nice.
in the 40s. Yeah, I got in down here.
Awesome.
And then, we wrote it up here.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
That is a good return.
Yeah. So then we hit the high up here. I held a little bit here because I was trying to go a long term, but then, you know, we went through these dips and stuff like that. But when we got back to here, that's when I sold. I was like, okay, that's obviously a clear resistance line right there. So I'll try to get back in. Looks like it's kind of supported right here. So yeah, I think it might be able to. We got earnings coming up too soon. One of the main catalysts for Twitter is that they're trying to monetize, right? So all these content creators and stuff like that, people that use Twitch and TikTok and all that stuff like that for their social media and like Facebook and everything. The gamers and anybody that does anything on the side. Twitter's trying to go to a subscription model, so you can kind of subscribe to the people that you follow on Twitter for content creators. So
Not to mention, they do already have ads, right?
yeah. They already make money because they're already reporting earnings and stuff like that, but they haven't finalized on their
That's how they make most of their money, right?
Yeah, that's
Is
how
on
they
ads?
make money. On ads and stuff like that.
So what's cool though is you as like a market cap thing, which is what I was talking about with Tesla, you can relate the market cap of Twitter to the market cap of Facebook. And if you compare the two, you can see that Twitter is much smaller than Facebook right now. But if you compare the products, I've known a lot of my friends say that Twitter is superior in most ways compared to Facebook. In addition to the subscriber base that you can get, like where you actually can pay, like not only do they have advertisement revenue, but then you also get the subscription revenue because they take a piece of, you know, the money that you get from subscribers, just like YouTube does. And that'll just like, I mean, I don't know. I think
Facebook's chart.
I think Twitter is a good investment. Donnie got me all excited about
Facebook's pretty expensive there, but
it's all about the market cap.
You know, as a trader, you still got to talk about technicals.
Yes, but as an investor, you want to talk about more like market cap and stuff like that.
So as a trader, most people are long Facebook. Facebook is a part of the big acronym that we know of as FANG. You know, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google.
Yeah, that's overrated.
And a lot of people say FANG, like with double A. So they add Apple in there. So Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, right? So if you're watching the news, they talk about these stocks like all the time, right?
They used to, or do they still?
No, they still do.
Oh, they still do. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. It's up there. It's still kind of going along a trend line here. It's still pretty bullish, but at this point, this is like a long-term hold. It's not necessarily a growth stock anymore, you know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like
if you want,
it's a less risky bet if you want to be holding this. You know, that's good. Because you know Facebook's gonna be solid. I mean, the chart shows.
Zoom out and show when it was a growth stock. If you you want to do that, so go to like.
Let me go to
5
like
years
let me go like 3 years or something like that.
More like.
Yeah.
More like even, a 5 year.
Yeah, we can get into that, but we don't have to really go that far back. But even you can see from the pandemic right here, it just dipped all the way down here.
But at this
like
point,
everything in the market.
At this point, Facebook wasn't a growth stock anymore. That's like if you go back farther, you can see the beginnings of Facebook when they were worth like, you know, $20 or something like that. You can see how they went and how like you can see the difference between a growth stock and what is this called, value stock.
Yeah. And then let's look at Apple. Oh,
silly Donnie. Okay.
There we go.
Oh man, look at that. That looks nice.
And this is a 3 year.
Yeah.
So
They did many stock splits.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they would be like
they're like
way
six.
up there.
If they had never had a stock split, they would actually be worth $6,000 right now. But
That would be insane. Nobody would buy that.
no, but you can see at the bottom here. Go to
You
where
see
the
all
art-
these splits
Go
here.
right there, Donnie.
Where?
The
right here?
yeah. See, they split the stock again, and as you can see, when they announced the stock split, everyone got all excited again, and the stock shot up like a lot. So, that is a catalyst.
And there's all kinds of factors with Apple and stuff like that. Every year, they're always announcing newer products, and then they started getting into the streaming wars and all that stuff like that too.
Yeah.
There's a whole ecosystem centered around Apple. I love Apple. I'm streaming off of a Mac. I'm watching this on my iPad, and I have an iPhone and an Apple Watch. So yeah, they got me. But I'm not currently invested in Apple. So that's
Maybe
interesting.
someday.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett actually has a lot in Apple.
Let's see. More FANG. All right, Amazon, all right? Or like the Brits say, Amazon. Right? Amazon. And Tesla. All right, so yeah, another FANG member here, big time. It's expensive, one of the most expensive. I don't know why they don't do a split. Like,
Yeah.
they've done a split before, I believe.
No, they never have.
Never done?
No, because I actually invested in them around like $800, which was like in 20 like what is
Yeah.
it 20 like 18 2017? Yeah, and because I was like, oh, they're gonna do a stock split, and I was assuming that that would be a catalyst because they were expensive at the time. But they've never done a stock split. So
I see you out there, Maggio. Big up Bahamas. All right, we can talk about some stocks that are related to the Bahamas, mainly the cruise ships. Right? We'll get into that. All right, but yeah, as you can see on Amazon, yeah,
they're expensive.
expensive
So it's less,
and consolidated.
it's
right?
less available to the average trader because people, sometimes their entire savings is $3,000. So
Another FANG member here. As you can see, there's a theme here in all these FANG stocks, right? They're the most popular stocks in the market, but they're also very expensive, and they're kind of like already up into like consolidation.
they gained
and
their
everything.
fame. They gained their fame way back when, like a couple years ago, because all of them just kept growing and growing. Like Netflix, you guys know the story about Netflix, I hope, where basically they put Blockbuster out of business.
Now let's talk about what's currently happening right now, right? This week, Netflix reported earnings.
Dang,
right?
look at that.
So yeah, that's why I wanted to discuss
Dang,
this
that
drop
drop.
right here, right? So they reported their earnings, and I looked through some of it, and yeah, they were blaming it on competition, Disney Plus, HBO Max, all that stuff like that. The streaming wars, man. Like I ain't gonna lie, like I just subscribed to HBO Max. I couldn't hold out any longer because I want to watch Mortal Kombat and
the new,
Godzilla versus
and the
King
new
Kong,
Justice
and
League.
the new Justice
Oh, man.
League, and
And if
so
you watch-
they
if you-
have good content.
If you watch Netflix now, it's like, I don't know. Like I used
still-
to really like Netflix, but it's
I
kind of
don't-
gotten kind of lame.
I don't think it's gonna lose. I don't think there's
No,
a
no.
loser here
No.
in this situation, but,
But it's
there-
definitely not as good as it used to be.
I think
for
it's
sure.
just gonna. I think they're all gonna kind of coexist, but there's gonna be like this little battle, competition, which is gonna be good for the whole industry going forward. There'll be battles. There'll be one will drop, the other will be like, okay, I just got this contract for Spider-Man or whatever, but Disney owns all of that now.
Yeah.
So
Someday we'll get into the finance talk of a monopoly versus a non-monopoly, like a perfect market, a perfect competitive market.
Yeah.
And Netflix wasn't really a monopoly, simply because they were the only streamer, but it was easy for other companies to get into it because it had a low entry, like, what is that called? Do you know what it's called?
What's up?
A low entry like limiter, a factor. So but yeah, we'll talk about that more later, but
I wanna.
we will talk about it. So Stay tuned for the next time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Bahamas though. Let's talk about the stock, the
cruise ship stocks,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
that's super
Well, let's go to
popular for
my
people.
favorite right now. Which one stock that I'm actually currently in? Let's talk about Carnival Cruise Line. As we know, the virus, because we can't say the word apparently, is
The
still,
virus.
It's still, yeah, it's still holding us out
Franco,
on
so funny.
sailing. You know, living that life, that best life.
Franco, you're funny, man. I like you.
Yeah, we still waiting on if we could live
Yeah,
our
bro.
best life.
I
here.
want to buy a.
but,
I want to go on a cruise
as
so
far
bad.
as far as the Carnival stock, let's see. This is my strategy here on this, right? So obviously the virus drop off here.
The virus.
Yeah. Whatever. It's been hovering around because people are believing it's supported. It's not going to tank anymore from here.
No.
They haven't even been sailing, and yet the share price has been supported here. People are holding.
And usually, like I said,
Yeah.
if you're a long-term investor, you can see how, like, if you go to Market Chameleon, which is like a website where you can look up the market share of a company, you can see, or the PE ratio or the price to sales. That's what it is, price to sales ratio. You can see that it would be like super low, and after a certain point, it is just like such a good deal that like people aren't gonna sell it anymore. They're just gonna buy it and buy it and buy it. That's how you can tell, like, when there's a bottom, when things just get like stupid cheap. So yeah, that's probably a reason, because it's stupid cheap right now based off those other readings that we don't have pulled up right now, but we will someday.
And what I like here is the fact that we can see that it wants to go up, right?
Yeah. In addition, you can, like Donnie's pointing out, you can look at the chart and you can see, like, from a macro, like long-term perspective, you can see that like the investors care about those other readings, but like as you see, is trading in a certain range.
Yeah.
And those little bounces are the short-term traders.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it wants to go up, definitely. It just doesn't have that overall catalyst. As we know, we're sailing again. The day that they start doing that, then we're looking. I'm trying to trade this at least up into the 50s.
oh yeah, bro, 7.8 to like 67.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Man.
So yeah, we can potentially
That's
go
a
here,
10x almost.
and even if we go higher than that, we can hit up here. We can start testing these highs, but that's way along the road.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I say that right now this is a safe bet here.
For sure.
Yeah, you can hold that.
I might
right there.
invest in it.
A lot of people.
10x is very nice.
Yeah, and like I said, it's supported, so
Yeah.
you know that there isn't anything that negative that we haven't already heard about the cruise ship
Yeah.
industry that's gonna drive the price like down.
You know,
So,
but you
yeah.
know, a big catalyst is when the government reopens the ability to like go on cruises, because we're still not able to go on cruises yet. But when they do finally reopen, that's gonna go up a lot.
Same similarity here. Royal Caribbean is it's more expensive than Carnival, but it's a little bit more bullish than, and we'll get into what it means to be bullish. That's positive. You're betting on it going up, and then bearish, you're betting on it going down. So when the virus hit, everything became bearish. Right there, self-explanatory, right? But same thing, just like Carnival, it wants to go up. It wants to get back to its natural trading range and everything. So here, same thing. A lot of Royal Caribbean fans out there, you know, like this is undervalued right now because nobody's selling. So even if you wanted to get into Royal Caribbean here, you still got a lot of good upside here. So that's good there. What is the other one? A Norwegian, right? I don't know Norwegian's ticker symbol. Anybody know Norwegian's ticker symbol?
NCR.
NCR?
Oh, thank you, Chrissy. As one of our subscribers. She lives.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's
Donnie.
NCR?
NRC.
She's Donnie's girlfriend.
NRC? No.
And she was wrong.
No.
NCL. NCL. I think it's NCL.
Anybody out there know it?
NCL.
Norwegian Cruise Line Holding. NCLH.
Well, I was close.
Yes.
She was.
And do I have that on my main watch list? I probably do. Yeah, I do. It's on there.
Oh my gosh, 7 to 59, baby.
Yeah, so right off the page, you can see. See any similarities? All the charts in the cruise line industry look the same.
So this is a cool way to tie into mutual funds. Is usually a mutual fund is where you can, or is it a mutual fund or is it like an index
Index funds.
or an ETF?
Yeah, that's
An
yeah.
ETF. So if you invest in an ETF, you can actually invest in like a group of like a certain sector. So like the cruise
I'll give
line,
you some examples
a
here.
cruise line ETF will just basically have like all the cruise lines, and you can invest in all of them.
What's
and
Aurora? Okay, here we go. The one industry. I don't know if we can say those words on YouTube at the moment, but
the
let's just say the green
yeah
stocks here.
yeah
Aurora Cannabis right here, right? Let's go closer. I don't want to go too far back there because we got to talk about what's, all based on, legalization, legal states, and all that stuff like that, right?
but this
So
encompasses
that's
all of the
that's
all
one.
of the,
That's one of them. That's
Yeah.
one company, right?
Yeah.
So
All
Aurora
of
Cannabis
the-
is there.
the
You
green
got
stocks.
You got Tilray, right?
Tilray's an actual stock though. It's
no,
not-
Aurora Cannabis is a stock.
Oh,
too.
okay. Do they have an ETF?
I'm gonna get to that.
Oh, okay.
I'm building to that.
Oh, I apologize. Aurora is not an ETF. It is a stock. I
Tilray's-
should have known that.
Tilray is also another cannabis company, right? A pretty popular one too. So you got ACB and TLRY, also cannabis companies, right, on the market. There's some others, right? So like we were saying, if you just didn't want to pick an individual stock, right, you can just go with MJ.
There you go. That's
Right.
the ETF.
That encompasses all the cannabis
fund-
stocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could say cannabis.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one for all of it. If you just didn't want to like
Choose.
research and pick and choose
Yeah.
which one's better, like is
You just knew
Aurora
the
better?
sector would grow.
I used to like Kronos. I used to trade that one a lot. Kronos Group, that's another one.
That's a stock.
Yeah, that's
not
a stock,
not an
right?
ETF.
Yeah, so,
You can and show them where you can see that it's an ETF versus a stock. So no.
well, that's
Yeah,
a stock.
to the right.
I'm gonna go to
No, but like right here. You can see right here that this is the stock, and then
Yeah.
go to the ETF, MJ. And then you can see here that it's an ETF, right? So that's important to note. It's pretty cool.
And let's pull back on the whole industry. Let's see how that stock has been,
Oh,
or that
yeah.
ETF has been favoring. There was a lot of hype for a while. Canada went fully legal. All
The
that
stock
stuff.
market was on fire. It was
Yeah,
going so
it
high.
seemed like every day that's all the stock market was talking about was
Yeah.
cannabis stocks, and everybody was all on that. I made some money trading some of those stocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially Kronos.
Oh,
like I
and
was saying.
if you had jumped on that Tilray,
Tilray
Pull
was
Tilray
ridiculous.
up.
Let's see. Yeah.
oh, that
Tilray's
was like a pump and dump, baby. But that was pretty cool. That was a crazy time.
Tilray.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Tilray pretty
From
much.
like $4
It
to
pretty
like
much looks
60.
exactly like the entire ETF right there. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
pretty
it pulled
much.
it up, you
Yeah,
know? Yeah, it pulled
that's
up
a
the-
huge pump right there.
Bro.
If you were in it at like $7 all the way up to 67, that's a pump.
Yeah.
Big time.
And then look at that
That
dump.
Yeah. Apparently, the reason why a lot of the cannabis stocks dumped like that is because they were overvalued. There were still a
Yeah.
lot of things that they needed to
They were
work
so
out
hype.
in terms of business model and stuff like that. And then like inventory, apparently, they had a lack of supply
We're good.
for the demand and stuff like that. So they were behind their curve in terms of revenue for some weird reason. But a lot of that is due to like supply chain management and legality between different countries and stuff like that. So the main catalyst in order to bring this back up, because they've already experienced their pump and dump, and I feel like they're starting to
like become actual
support. Yeah, it's starting to become a more supported. Like, we know, like, okay, this is a support line here. So
yeah. This pump and dump was a speculation versus like more trend, slower growth is more actual, like what a stock should do if you want to invest in it.
Yeah.
Versus the other thing is like a day trade.
So yeah, so you're pretty, if you wanted to start getting long term into some of this stuff as the US starts to try to go fully legal and stuff like that, that's that's one thing to think about.
I gotta go, Donnie.
All right,
but
we'll start wrapping this up
Yeah.
here. Did I want to go over one more thing?
I have to do homework for finals.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, they've stopped commenting in a while.
All right. There was something else I wanted to go over.
Look at your head.
Oh yeah.
Just
Did I want to go over DraftKings?
we can go over DraftKings.
Just
another
briefly,
time.
just briefly, and then we'll end it there. All right, so DraftKings, another thing that like sports betting and stuff like that. Another thing that's has to be like legality is the catalyst for their growth and everything like that. You got DraftKings, you got FanDuel. That's the other one. It's pretty much a duopoly at the moment now for sports betting. You have some other casinos that are doing that as well too, because you have Penn. That's another like sports betting stock that a lot of people like. Let me look at that.
All right, after this one.
Yeah. Penn. A lot of y'all may know what's his name, Davey Day Trader, but Dave something, the guy that owns Barstool Sports, he gets into trading and stuff like that. But he's kind of like the spokesperson for like Penn and stuff like that. So, but I like DraftKings. DKNG. All right, so I swing traded it up to around up in here, and then I sold as well because I saw this double top right here at 74. Resistance right up here, right? We had the Super Bowl, we had March Madness, we had all these tournaments for people to bet on, and legality is starting to expand. I know New York is going fully legal in sports betting and all that. I just saw an article yesterday that Florida is considering it. I think Florida is a major catalyst. People love sports in Florida, and they've been salivating on betting on sports in Florida, especially all the Hard Rock casinos. And see, the way it works in Florida, like politically, is that like the Native Americans have the say. So I saw an article that like the Seminole tribe is actually, let me see if they have that in the news here.
You can pull it up on the right, yeah.
Sometimes you can see the news. I don't think I see it in there. I saw it somewhere else. But yeah, let me close that. But yeah, so in Florida, in order for like most of the gambling territory is based on what the Native Americans negotiate. So, and rightfully so. I mean, I guess that's all we left them with, which is terrible. But so
Yeah,
they're working
does
on
suck.
they're working on getting a deal done to pass legislation to possibly allow it to be legal in Florida, and I'm assuming they would get a big chunk of the revenue.
You know
from
what's
that.
so sad though, is I was going to I was driving up with my girlfriend to Montana, and we were going through like all these museums and about the expansion to the west, and it's crazy. Like I've seen more Native Americans in museums than I have like in actual life.
I thought of that as well.
And I'm like, wow. Like it's
right.
crazy.
So I'm gonna leave it off with Square. So
Also,
And you can also. Speaking
Square
of
is amazing. I love
Square
Square.
owns the Cash App, right?
And they are now expanding into Europe, which is like that's as big, if not bigger, than the United States in terms of like a market. So,
And you can invest in the Cash App. So
you can invest
like,
in the Cash App. You can invest in stocks in the Cash App.
Yeah.
And you can invest actually in like
Fractional shares.
Fractional shares of any stock in addition to Bitcoin on Cash App, which is awesome because obviously most people can't afford a bit or a coin, you know. So like you gotta buy partial shares, which is great. So it brings the more people to the table, which is what we want for the little guy. So yeah, anyways, this was really nice.
Yeah.
If you guys have
See
any,
how I just created those support and resistance lines.
yeah, we'll
right
talk.
there,
We'll
just
talk
like that.
about.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying.
Okay.
So yeah,
I gotta go.
Earnings coming
Donnie,
up.
I gotta go. So
Looking for the upside.
okay.
right.
He's excited
Right here.
See, this is
All right, but yeah, we're ending on that.
all right. I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. It was great. It was great seeing you
For
guys.
stream, we'll grow together.
Yeah, we'll grow together. And please, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. And you guys didn't like our video. What the heck? Like it. Like this is our first video.
Like,
Support
comment,
us, man, please.
Like,
Wow.
comment, and subscribe.
And subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will read your comments, and we will work our best to make you guys satisfied with whatever you want us to do. That's appropriate. So
Alrighty, y'all.
all right. Thank you guys.
Check y'all later.
We'll talk later next week.
Street Light Sounds.
Alright, let's do this again. A little different this time. I told myself that money would never be a factor. Now I'm laughing at Benny Hanna's with benefactors. I sell my soul for an artist's love with them giant raptors. My chef cooking that steak and lobster on giant platters. Forsaking all again for this path the master. Path to disaster and saved by the master. I'm hearing they laughter, Drunk off my own grapes, yes, I'm blasted. Pockets is fatter. Without peace, what does it matter? Manifesting this madness. My career sentence.